tricks of multiple lines within this course. Course designer Tim Fuzzy Hall, I like to call him the Da Vinci of dirt, and he has done such a great job in creating a course that really showcases the variations of the sport of bike dirt. There's the style, there's the tech. We spoke with some of the riders concerning it. The individuality of bike dirt can present a volatile aspect of the sport, where it's risk versus reward every time they drop in.
If you go into the gambling table and you want to bet big, then you're going to win big, or you're going to lose a lot. You're not winning big by putting $2 down. You might as well put $5,000 down. You want to see me either win or get hurt. So either way, they're getting pleased, so it's all good.
It's either first or last. But I'd be more happier going out trying hard than pussyfooting around and not making it.
We're all scared when we send stuff like that. So, I mean, but you have to use all that nervous energy and just put it all into positive energy, like where it's just like, you know, send it, get almost fifth. I mean, if I'm going to do it for money, I can go in there and do bar spins and truck drivers all day long and get fifth, third, and second. I'm not going to be satisfied with myself in the shower tonight. I'll be like, can't believe I did that.
It's hard to you know, do that kind of thing, like first or last, to lay it on the line, especially in a situation where, you know, like you could, you know, make podium, or you could make top 5 or even win. Fear is definitely a factor, you know, like, because big jumps, big tricks, it's scary. It's very scary. I'm not going to lie to you. A lot of people do say, like, it's, you know, it's not how you place, it's how you ride. And I think a lot of times that's kind of like BS. Silver and bronze are awesome too, but compared to the gold, you know, it's like, it doesn't add up, you know, in my eyes.
And here's Todd Wakowiak. He's a rider that focuses more on the trail style, where he just flows through the course, not really doing tricks like a Stephen Murray and Ryan Nyquist that's really throwing down and holding on the line. Here we got a no-hander. Nothing, like I said, just getting through the course. Nice tail whip. But these days, you really need to bring big tricks because that's what the riders are stepping it up to. Now, 360 tail whip. There you go. Bigger trick than we've seen out of Todd Wakowiak here.
Oh, deciding to step it up on that last hit. And, you know, you mentioned Stephen Murray and Ryan Nyquist, those riders putting in bigger tricks, but even like he's trying there.
Yeah, even the younger riders like Ryan Goodler and Corey Bowen, they're really starting to throw these massive tricks in the middle of their run. You had Ruel throwing a decade in the middle of his run. You got, gosh, all 720s. Ryan has done them in the middle of his run. Here you have a tail whip 360. At the end of the run, still a big trick, but you've got guys doing these tricks in the middle of the run. It's going to be time for the riders to all step it up if they want to remain relevant and compete in bike dirt finals.
And for those of you new to bike dirt, when you talk about the middle of the run, it's a high risk, high reward, throwing that in the middle of those rhythm sections. So Wakowiak, his second of 3, and improvement and consistency paying off of the riders that have had their 2 runs. Wakowiak sits in the lead for the moment. And Ruel Eriksson, what an accomplishment just to make it here to the finals when you consider the physical hurdles he has had to overcome.
I had some back problems. I have some degenerate back plates back there. What it is like a birth defect, I believe. It's just where my spinal plates are actually curved, and what happens is all the pressure and then bouncing around and compression of it just takes out the nice foam cushion that's supposed to be in between there. The doctor told me to quit, shut it down. You're done, you know, crushed me, totally just freaking threw me on a loop. So what I did is I actually went down and found a stretch therapist that actually helps with stretching techniques. And then the best thing I've done is, I mean, it's funny you say this, but I mean, it's the basics. It's what your grandma told us our whole life, to eat veggies. Been blessed, it's working out great now, you know, back in the game.
Ruel's rigorous regimen of diet and exercise has not only allowed for him to once again ride, it's opened the doors for his personal possibilities on a bike.
So we were out there chilling, hanging out. I was like, man, maybe I can get something fired in this decade. Maybe I can spin off backwards and stick my feet out or something, stick a foot over the bar. And I kind of did it in a little bit of accident form. I shot off and it got right back around. I was like, wow, that was awesome. It's a decade where you spin around, you kind of shoot your feet straight up in the air and then get back on it. I just love the feeling of conquering something else, something new. I love life itself. I'm just excited to be around BMX and doing what I love. It's one of the best jobs in the world. I love it. Couldn't ask for much more.
Ruel Erickson, I would venture to say that goes hand in hand with this sport.
Well, I'll tell you what, he told me that even if he had the back problem, he figured, you know what, I already got a back problem. I'm going to keep riding until I just can't do it any longer. He loves it that much. And testament to that is how excited he gets after his run.
Time for his second run.
Getting into the flow here. We saw a similar first trick. Nice 360 tail with different style on that one. And there you go. The Viking in Ruel Erickson coming out here.
Completely charged and showing great variety. Different from his first run.
Well, you know what? He started his run off similar. He did the Superman seat grab, but did get into 360 variations, was hitting tricks on every set. Right there, you can see grabbing the seat and really just stretching himself out there. Such a good Superman seat grab. Really extended, and you want to extend all those tricks. And here, take a look at the style on this as the back end whips around. Right there, almost gets vertical like he's coming in off a vert ramp on a 540, but is able to land on the backside of that style jump.
Ruel Erickson, his second run, and 88. If you average those two scores, the leader for the moment.
You know, he's claiming also that he is a descendant of Leif Erikson. You remember Leif Erikson,
yeah,
the Viking that some say found the New World before Columbus.
Ruel doing a little pillaging of his own dirt course. Two-time gold medalist Stephen Murray, he needs perfection if he wants to repeat for his third gold medal. But sitting comfortably, Ryan Nyquist with that first solid run, their second runs when we return. In the midst of the bike dirt finals, the second of 3 runs, and you're looking at Stephen Murray, two-time gold medalist in bike dirt. He has his throwaway run behind him. He risked it all, and it did not pay off. He needs perfection on his second and third runs.
And you're looking at a man also who is capable of throwing down the biggest tricks in the sport. We're talking double backflips, 360 look-down backflips, much under this gentleman's belt. The same way he started his first run. He said he wants to do that run he had in his mind. And here we are, getting through, a little shaky, coming into the berm. It all comes down to this jump. No! It will not be for Stephen Murray.
You know, it's a great statement about the difference in riders. Stephen Murray is a rider that has the style, but backs it up with a huge marquee tricks like this.
And just to give you an idea how difficult this trick is, Stephen wasn't the only rider performing this trick. Ryan Nyquist actually did it, and Ryan said, you know what? It's a scary trick. I really don't want to do it anymore. Stephen throws this down so much. And you saw with the way he crashed, he has him dialed enough that he's able to get out fairly safely, get past his head, in other words, and just under-rotated a tad bit on that 360 flip pass.
But it's Stephen's willingness to go for those tricks that has garnered him so much respect in the sport and has captured him gold medals before, but not at this year's Gravity Games.
And there's so many riders who will play it safe, go out there and not go for those big tricks, and still podium. But you know what? Steven would not be able to live with himself. He knows that he's got to go out there and bring it every single time. He has a first-to-last mentality, and I commend him for that.
So, not to be for Stephen Murray, we've seen him pull out the critical clutch run, but gosh, that 360 flip. It's,
yeah, you know, it's such a technically difficult trick. It's big and it's technical. There's a lot going on, but I have to give it to Stephen. He went for it. He knew he had to go for it. It was all on the line. Right now, though, Ryan has one solid run in there. There's only one other guy that can really take him, I believe, and that's Corey Bowen from Australia. He's got some big tricks, so it's still anyone's game at this point.
It's interesting. I mean, Ryan has yet to lose a contest this year. I mean, is it his to lose here tonight?
Yeah, you know what? I know Ryan Nyquist. He thrives off stuff like this. And in his mind, there's a possibility that one of his main threats is out of the running. It's going to boost his confidence, definitely.
So Ryan Nyquist still to ride on his second run of 3. Now time for Chris Doyle, in sharp contrast to Stephen Murray. Also, you know, reform racer is transferred seamlessly into bike dirt, has that 6'3" lanky liquid style. You won't see the 360 flips, but you will see that smooth style from set to set.
He's got great tail whip, but you've seen in the first part of the run, like I said, really just getting into a flow. Nothing new out of Chris. A very quick turn down 360.
What Chris Doyle lacks in explosive tricks, he makes up for with his critical consistency. He's podiumed the last 3 years of Gravity, and it's because of his ability to put together consistent, safe final runs.
Well, you can see here the tail whip he brings in. That's a difficult move, and he's able to throw it in the middle of the rhythm section. And something else the judges like about Doyle is the way he accents his tricks. Watch his handlebars in this turn down 360, completely contorted, and they give him a lot of credit for that. If Doyle, however, wants a gold medal, I have to say, he just needs a big marquee trick. You need a 720. You need some of these bigger tricks, and Doyle will be sitting up there in first place.
Well, an improvement on run 2 of 3. Doyle will want to throw away that first run score. Now time for Corey Bowen. And as you stated, Kenan, one of the biggest threats to Ryan Nyquist. Corey Bowen, now living in Salt Lake City. A lot of these riders, they make the move and their riding just goes through the roof.
We're seeing a slight change on Linus, opposite truck driver. Oh, he slips the pedal.
So no question, a throwaway run for the young Australian, Corey Bowen. Unfortunately for Bowen, his second of 3, he ran into problems. But a rider who hasn't faced any problems so far with this course, let alone any other course this year, Ryan Nyquist.
As far as for bike riding, this has probably been the best year I've ever had. I've won a lot this year. Maybe it was just my time, you know, maybe it's just my year.
Maybe. Or maybe it was something more. Ryan Nyquist has put together one of the most dominating seasons in bike dirt history. He has won every dirt competition he has entered this year. But his success has come from more than just his growth as a rider. It comes from a new perspective on life.
I think it was just too much. Like, I kind of needed to take a step back, so I moved to Salt Lake, kind of took the bare necessities, just really simplified things, you know. It kind of made it easier to concentrate and to have more fun, you know, less responsibilities, less material possessions. I had 3 cars. You know, I got a decent-sized house in North Carolina. Bills coming in, and you know, even stuff like cutting the lawn. Like, my lawn was, I had like 1.25 acres, and you know, you sit down and you try to cut the lawn. It takes 2 hours. When you cut out all the frivolous things and stuff like that, it kind of simplifies a lot of stuff, and it's weird. I don't know. I can't really explain it, but it worked.
Getting back to basics has reignited Ryan's hunger for riding. His life no longer littered with distractions, and that new level of focus has made him into the most dangerous rider in BMX.
if I could put my finger on it, then yeah, I'd write a book and it'd be a bestseller and all the guys up on deck would have it. I'm not going to ask questions, though. That's been good.
I've known Ryan Nyquist since '96, and you can see since then he's had the determination, but never before has any rider exemplified this type of prowess and winning streak as Ryan Nyquist here this year. It's uncanny, his ability to control his mind.
And I'm curious, how would that sit with the other riders?
Well, you know what? I've spoken to TJ Lavin, and he told me straight up, he's like, you know what? Everybody's going for second place. I mean, everyone wants to beat Ryan, but it's becoming next to impossible until somebody else figures out that secret. And again, all the way through the rhythm section with no mishaps.
And cerebral as expected, Ryan Nyquist. I'm not even surprised.
And you know what? He basically went through there and did what he needed to do just to get the next score, to get those averages together to keep him in the lead. And Pat, also look at his front wheel on this next replay. He's got two brakes, a back and a front brake. Most guys are using back brakes. He put a front brake on because he figured out if he stops that gyroscopic effect of the front wheel, he is able to do no-handed variations in 360s, something that, well, we didn't think was able to be done. So just showing you that his mind is constantly thinking and he's trying to evolve the way he rides. That engineering background that he has coming into play. He's a scientist out there.
And quite the tactician. Ryan Nyquist's second run, a 92. So here's a look at the current standings after the second runs of 3. Ryan Nyquist on top, and Ruel Eriksson 5 points behind. Todd Lukowiak in third. Remember, it is the average of riders' top 2 runs, the third runs, when we return to the Gravity Games. Ryan Nyquist continue his dominance in the sport of bike dirt? The answer in a moment. Up next, we head over to the concert stage with Simple Plan. If you've been keeping track, 2003 for Ryan Nyquist, he is unbeaten at all major competitions. He is our current leader after the second runs of 3. And remember, it is the average of the rider's top 2 runs out of 3 that counts towards Gravity Gold. Ryan Nyquist up top. But the rider to watch is Ryan Gutler. He has a mathematical chance to catch Ryan Nyquist because of that 93.4 on his first run.
Well, he needs to come out and he needs to do that double tail whip. And I also heard he's going to be doing a 720. Those were both included in his third run, so he needs to just nail those tricks and link them together.
And we've seen some magic from Ruel Eriksson so far here tonight with the decade variations. Unfortunately, he's been complaining of some arm cramps. We'll see if that plays part in his third run.
Well, I know that he has the double flip. He has pulled them before, and he is caught up in the moment this evening. And Pat, it looks like he's just getting through the rhythm. It looks like he's focused entirely on this last jump. That's double. Yeah! God, going for it! Just missing a double back